This podcast is proudly supported by the Ōtara Network Action Committee, ōNAC, community-owned, community-driven and community-led.
Kia ora mai tātou, ko Judy Speight, taku ingoa. And here we are back again, kia ora mai anō, ki We Are Ōtara. This is the place where we're telling our stories for our future about our people. And we really want you to treasure every conversation that we have here because they're about us and who we are. And we want to share those. We share our friends, not so much our foes, but, you know, you never know who Vinny's going to put us in front of in the camera. But this is all made possible by ōNAC, the Ōtara Network Action Committee, who were our supporters initially in this podcast, and we really, really appreciate their work. So here we go again. Today, with We Are Ōtara, we're talking to the amazing Rona. He's super dad. Rona, I have to say it the Samoan way, not the Māori way. We practiced this one. Mā tautia. Nā tautia.
Mā tautia, yeah.
Nā tautia. Okay, the amazing Rona Mā tautia.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I have to say I had to play really hard to get this video because I really wanted to do a podcast with Rona. And some of our team were really keen as well. And so I didn't pass out chocolate fish, Rona, but, you know, I was prepared to go that far if I was to get the opportunity to do the podcast with you. And why is that? So I guess a good thing is that I am just such a huge fan of yours. We really, it's true. It's really true. You're just there when we need you. You know, you're there when I was writing down some words like, you know, the rangatahi wrangler. I remember that first time we ever went to Devonport and we had that rather noxious child that threatened to run away, the only one that ever has. And you gave him one look and he was perfect for the rest of the day. Mind you, we haven't seen him since. Not quite sure what came with him. But then there's that whole, you know, when we're doing our food bank and all the wheels are falling off and everyone's tearing their hair out and you materialise in the doorway, the shadow falls and there you are.
Thank you.
And then there's your amazing children. Oh, just the super children. They're so beautifully behaved and so loving and so caring and so thoughtful. Not to mention their mother, who's similarly beautiful, amazing and beautiful.
She is.
So this is my opportunity to ask you some questions about maybe where might we go to with all of this incredible participation in what we're trying to do here at Ōtara and how you think you might fit into that in the future. Because, you know, if someone gave me a huge bag of money, I'd say, Rona, would you come and work with us? Forget all those other people. We really want you on our team. And I know somehow that's going to happen one day. But let's talk about your hopes and what your aspirations are. Maybe we talk about where you came from in the beginning. So tell us about, where were you born?
I was born in National Women's Green Lane.
Yep, back in the good old days when we still had a hospital there.
Yeah. I think it's just the hospital for dialysis now. But I was born out there and then raised in Mangarees. Then moved to.
Well, so why were you born there, not at Middlemore?
To be honest, I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe my parents liked National Women's. I don't.
Yeah.
But
I don't think you had a choice with that sort of thing, though. I don't know.
I was just like pushing it towards.
Yeah.
And then born out there, raised around Mangarees. Used to come to Ōtara a lot because I had a lot of family out here. But then moved out to Henderson, then Mount Albert, then Australia, then back here.
So you know all the Mount Albert places?
A fair bit, yeah.
Because we've had a few conversations about where to eat on Dominion Road, etc. Yeah. So, you know, we eat on Dominion Road a lot. That's Tony's and my date out. Unless we're going up to the park, of course.
Which on Balmoral?
Dominion Road in Balmoral. Yeah.
And you go all the way down?
Yeah, but when I say up to the park, I mean to Eden Park because, I'm such a hip person. I know all about venues. So Mount Albert, and then you went to live in Australia for a while, and then you came back here.
Yeah.
Okay, that's amazing.
And then we've been in Ōtara for, I think, how old's Mercy? About 7, 8 years. So, yeah. Been here for that long. So, yeah, felt like Ōtarian.
Yeah.
Much.
On Beads Road the whole time.
Yeah. Been in it.
Pretty cool. So what schools did you go to?
Mangarees Primary. Shout out Mangarees Primary. Viscount. And then went to Marcelin for third form. Waitakere College, 4th and started 5th. And then finished at Mags. Then went to work.
Okay, Mags.
Yeah.
My grandfather was a foundation student at Mags.
Was that when it was all boys?
I think so, yeah. Don't know. He's not around anymore, so I can't ask him. I don't think there were any girls in those days. So did they have girls when you were there?
Yeah. I've been told it was an all-boys school before that.
Originally.
Yeah.
But then where did the women of Mount Albert go, I wonder?
St. Dominic's.
To school?
Oh, no, not St. Dominic's.
Those would be Catholic women, of course.
There's a school up the road from it. I'm just trying to remember the name. I don't remember.
No, it's Marist.
Marist, yeah. I think
yeah, but that's a Catholic school, so I don't know where was the state school, the grammar school that matched Mount Albert Grammar. They could only have gone to Eggs, I suppose, at that point.
I wouldn't. To be honest,
I
was co-ed when I got there, so.
Yeah. Anyway, so from school. And then, so what about work things? What work were you doing in Australia?
I was a furniture removalist. Mm-hmm. Done it for a long, very long time.
And you played a bit of
rugby league.
League, yeah. So were you playing league in Australia?
Yeah. So I played for Chester Hill Hornets. They're under the Canterbury Bulldogs. And then I went and played for Maryland's Rams. They're under Parramatta.
Okay. And was any of that professional?
No, I was hitting that, but
it was?
It was just, wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, so that's when you decide to have children and
you're happy
to
have children and come back to New Zealand and have children, settle down.
But now I know that you're reliving your competitive years as the manager of the under-6s. No, you're the coach, aren't you?
Coach.
And Danielle's the manager.
She's the manager.
Excellent. We are hoping to get them a run out with the police at some point soon. They're asking.
Yeah.
They're really keen. And we've said they have to play on their knees. They're going to play with
They can play on their feet. Boys are undefeated. The boys, they
I thought there was a pun. Undefeated. Your boys are...
Yeah, they're undefeated. So,
really?
These days now it's not written on pen and paper. It's all digital. So on the apps, it's all done on apps for points and stuff. And the boys have never seen a defeat this year. So it was good.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, must be the coach now, James.
Yes. Are they quite a special little team, though?
They are. All of them was their first year of playing league, and there was a few clubs who asked if they've been together for a while, or if some of the boys are actually 6. They were surprised when I told them a few of the boys are actually 5. They only just turned 5 from being 4. So I had 3 4-year-olds turn 5 this year. One actually turns 5 next month. So he's still 4.
And yet they're quite a stunning little team.
They are.
How exciting.
And they're all characters.
Yeah. Well, led by the greatest character of all, your very own son.
Yeah. He's a good kid. He means well. Everyone loves playing with him. It must be his character.
He's a lovely young kid. Really lovely. Always gives me a big hug. So what are you hoping? Are you going to keep on going with your manager, coach gig going forward?
To be honest, I probably want to go up to at least 11, 12s and then see where Caden wants to go from there, to be honest. If he wants to want me to be the coach, I'll keep coaching. If he wants to go elsewhere, we'll try the sports and But I feel like I could probably see myself running the boys all the way up to their teens. Because, even this year we grew real close together. Even the families, like a lot of support from the parents. It was real good. So,
it's great to have that whole, we did that with our kids too, the whole parental family. Yeah, the whānau kind of involvement in sport is really lovely, isn't it? And that's where some of your best friends come from. Tony always came home from netball telling me about these amazing women he'd met and how you need to be friends with this one and that one. And some of them are our friends still.
Oh, that's good.
Which is hilarious, really. Incredible. Yeah. And in fact, when we had Craig Dowd here last week, he was talking about his company 3D which is named for 3 dads, and they were the dads that played netball with. Well, they were watching the netball with the kids,
Oh, nice.
and that's how they formed a company. There we go. Come up with something. If you weren't quite so busy on the side of their field, egging the boys on. So you're going to do your coaching thing all the way through those early years with your son, and then just see what happens.
Just see what happens. I'll leave it up to him mainly because my thoughts about it was I don't want to force him into sports.
Yeah.
But I just want him to try a little here and there. And he actually wants to try soccer, but he can't do soccer at school till he's about 11 because they don't have teams for his age. And we don't know any teams for soccer outside of the school.
Yeah.
But then they also do the jiu-jitsu, so they like that.
Yeah, so do you have a special philosophy around children and sport and their participation? I know your kids are really passionate about pretty well everything they do for kids at that age.
Just don't force. I don't like. Yeah. Because I see a lot of kids when they turn to adults, they kind of resent or they end up falling out of love with the sport they're playing. I thought then I'll see what my kids want to do. I just didn't want them to be professional tablet players, playing on their tablets and phones.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah, well, I think every parent feels a bit like that, don't they? We don't want to be professional tablet players ourselves either, do we? So is that giving them opportunity rather than driving them somewhere?
Well, I think it's more the fact of giving them opportunity, but then the drive is more just supporting whatever they want to do. That's what really. I don't know if the word's mantra or something.
I remember when you did tell me that Mercy wanted to do MMA, and I'm going, where did that come from?
Yeah.
Another one of Dad's secret passions.
Just, it's a lazy elbow.
Yeah. So with the teams that you're coaching, or your team, with 6-year-olds or 4 to 6-year-olds, what are you doing with training? Do they go for 10K runs or anything like that? Or
to be honest, I know I've seen a few other teams that in the under 60s, they're trying to show them all the technical sides of it. But what I did this year was just a bit of basics and just let them be kids. Just let them have fun. Make sure they come back the next week. So and then they really worked on the field because then they knew what to do. And they just had fun with it.
So they're enjoying it.
They enjoyed it.
That's rather special, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I got one boy in my team where he's made the Tongan side for under 6s, but he doesn't want to play for the coach because I'm not the coach.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Do they have national sides for in that age grade?
They just so parents can choose, or their parents can let them trial and choose them. And when the boys went to go trial for Tonga, one of the boys, his name's Leka, he goes, "No, is that my coach? Don't want to play for him. If that's not my coach, I don't want to play." So I told him because their parents wanted to keep him in the under 6s next year. I said, I've already signed his name over for under 7s if you want to bring him. They're like, that's probably better. So he's going to play under 7s next year and still be 5. Probably just turning 6 at the end of the season.
Wow.
Yeah, but he keeps up with the boys. So.
The bigger ones, yeah.
And he's feisty. I like him. He's pretty cool.
Well, there's a bit of a league history there with some people of that ethnicity. Amazing. So what about Karauna? We've done Karauna the dad, and now we're doing the coach. What about Karauna the person? What are your personal aspirations? What do you want to do with yourself? I mean, you're young enough to have a million dreams at this point. What's your vision?
To be honest, I just thought I kind of know, but if I were to win the lottery, I'd probably just retire and buy a big RV and travel from the north of New Zealand to the south. Okay,
well, Vinny and I'll come with you, if that's okay.
That's
we might bring a few mates.
It'll be big enough. But yeah, just learning a trade, to be honest. So I could at least carry on throughout the day and just make sure my kids are all good. But other than that, I wouldn't mind just travelling all in New Zealand. That's one of my biggest dreams. Even you know, people would want to travel the world and all this. I'd rather travel our backyard.
Well, you travelled early, of course, as a kid, didn't you? So there is that. I've got no desire to go anywhere.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's pretty cool here, really, isn't it?
Usually when I go up north, I don't want to come back down. So.
Well, that was just because you came to our place too, of course.
Yeah, that was it. That was good.
Centre of the universe.
Yeah, it was.
Whangaroa Harbour. Yeah.
Alexis.
Yeah. So really a trade. So what kind of trade?
Earlier last year, I was doing electrical engineering. Mm-hmm. But then for just help Danielle out with her working, I had to pretty much put that aside and just help her with her job. I think that's when she was still with Waterways.
Yeah.
Then I said, and plus the kids were still too young to leave at home, so I'd watch them. I'll probably do it later on. Well, it's a 3-year course for electrical engineering. I wouldn't mind going back there.
Well, there is some support. Maybe we should check that out together.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, you might want to get your sticky paws on as many scholarships and supports that there are out there just to
so
make
that
it
would just be
especially with a young family.
Yeah.
So electrical
engineering,
and that's at MIT?
Yeah. The one I did was skills update in Mangere.
Yeah, I know those guys.
Okay. I'm trying to think of the road.
Tidal. Isn't it Tidal?
Yeah, Tidal Road.
No, those PTEs. Yeah. Well, okay. And so what happens when what do electrical engineers do once they're qualified?
So they're just sparkies. So they sort out the lights and all the electrical stuff inside the house.
And would you do that domestically then? Is that what you'd want to do? Yeah, I suppose with huge building projects happening here, all over South Auckland really, that there's going to be always plenty of work, isn't there?
There would be, especially with the building industry. Like, I was always given that opportunity when I was 16. I didn't really, I was making too much money as a furniture removalist, so I didn't want to go do it.
But you don't want to break your body now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now that I'm breaking it, it's all right. I'll go do some easy stuff.
Is it really broken?
Half. I've had a few, I've done both my shoulders.
Is that leg?
Done my back a few times. That was from removals. Hyperextended my knee, the right knee. So, yeah.
It's probably time to go on MMA yourself.
Maybe just forklift driver for now.
So have you got any of those tickets?
Forklift driving and stuff? Yeah.
Yeah.
I've driven a lot of the machines like forklifts, man-ups, scissor lift. So I've driven a few of them.
And you got all the tickets for them?
Yeah.
Cool. We should just keep them current.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's what we should do. Maybe that's why we're having this conversation, so we can work out what happens in the dream.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, an electrical engineer, I know how to fix them.
Yeah. Just imagine what you could do, helping us. And today we're going to play Lights Out. Okay. Well, I think we'll make this chapter 1, and we're going to interview you every 6 months to get how the chapters are emerging. Yeah. Well, so a really earnest thank you for everything you bring us.
That's all right. You do a lot for me and my family, so I've always wanted to give back.
Well, we really appreciate it, and giving is okay to receive sometimes when you're the one that's doing all the giving, and you are doing all the giving. You really are. Thank you, Ronan. Okay. See you soon. Kia ora.